Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Game of Thrones. Last time on Game of Thrones, we had The Laws of Gods and Men. I forgot what it was called. But basically, first half of the episode, we kind of went all over the place-ish. We started off in Braavos with Stannis trying to get a loan, basically, for his war against King's Landing, and now Tommen, technically, and having to convince them, but eventually they did get the loan they wanted. We cut over to Theon, who was almost saved by his sister, but he kind of just screwed up, and he's still under the control of Ramsay Snow, who tells him that he is going to have to basically pretend to be Theon Greyjoy instead of being Reek in order to take back the Iron Islands. Then we had some stuff with Daenerys and how she is starting to rule over Meereen as the queen. And she's starting to get a taste of what it's like to actually be the queen. And then the rest of the episode was just on the trial of Tyrion Lannister. And it was pretty interesting. And at the end, they were going to have him plead guilty and then give him mercy and send him to the Night's Watch. But they brought in Shay, and she started lying up a storm about what went down and stuff like that. So he decided to go all out, and we are getting a trial by combat. So yeah, that's basically that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Let's stick to this episode and previous episodes of Game of Thrones that I've reacted to. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of Game of Thrones. Here we go.
That deal you made, it was everything Father wanted. You do see that? He
Yeah,
gets you back
it was.
as there. All so perfect. It felt good to take that from him.
Ooh, yeah.
I hope it's Samarin Trant. I'd enjoy watching Bronn disembowel that pompous child beater.
No. Not Samarin.
Oh. Is that... Crap, is that the mountain?
The Night's Watch has defended her for thousands of years. And in all those centuries, we have never sealed the tunnel.
Have you ever seen a giant, Sir Alistair? I have.
Ooh.
The tunnel's gate won't stop them.
The bars on those gates are 4 inches thick, cold-rolled steel.
And they won't stop them.
Yeah.
Elise is 40 and barren.
She still gets Castle Stokeworth when her father dies.
She does. Unless she happens to perish before her father, then Loris gets the castle. What? Ladies fall from their horses and snap their pretty necks all the time.
You and my sister deserve each other.
Lolis is soft and warm and close. If I gave you the choice between fucking Lolis and fighting the mountain, you'd have your britches down and your cock up before I could blink.
She frightened you so much.
I'd be a bloody fool if it didn't frighten me. But one misstep, and I'm dead.
Yeah.
Why should I risk it?
It might not be worth it.
Because you're my friend.
Aye, I'm your friend. And when have you ever risked your life for me?
Damn. He has a solid point in all this.
I like you. What will you do?
I suppose I'll have to kill the mountain myself. Won't that make for a great song?
I mean, I'd like to see that.
I hope to hear them sing it one day.
Maybe Jamie will do it.
Take off your clothes.
Damn. I'm so happy we don't have the same actor from last season.
Humor isn't my strength.
That's because most jokes are lies. And you're devoted to the truth.
If the lies, my lady, are only best avoided.
Not always.
There's nothing wrong with a joke.
When we set sail, your daughter must be with us. The Lord needs her.
Okay.
Draw out the handle.
Oh, that's gotta be awkward.
Are you here to see our queen? She's in a good mood.
Alright, okay.
How could you ever have faith in a man like that?
I could never have faith in a man like Dario. That's why I've sent him and the second sons to retake Yunkai.
Oh,
You have.
that's a good idea.
Without you there to rule.
I can end it, I will end it, and I will end those behind it.
I sold men into slavery, Khaleesi.
And now, you are helping me show them to freedom.
I wouldn't be here to help you if Ned Stark had done to me what you want to do to the masters of Yunkai.
Yeah. Ned Stark showed him mercy. That's why Ned fucking rules.
He will explain the choice they have before them. They can live in my new world, or they can die in their old one.
Damn.
We'll go and catch Dario before he leaves. Tell him I changed my mind.
Yes, Khaleesi.
Okay, well that's...
No,
No?
tell him you changed my mind.
Oh.
Kidney pie is wonderful.
Thanks.
Oh, hey.
Do my best. The good kidney pie is all about the ingredients.
Don't.
Flour, lard, water, eggs, milk. Never met no Sansa Stark. But I know her sister.
Arya, yeah.
Arya. Look, if you find her, could you give her this? You should like the last one I gave her, but well, this one turned out better.
The direwolf bread.
You were saying?
Ha! Yeah. You got some great intel. Find the hound, you find Arya.
Grandfather's dead.
Imagined you'd be back at the brothel at this hour.
I did spend some time with an absolutely stunning blonde the other day.
Why is Oberyn here?
She's wanted this for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. We met, you and I, many years ago.
Really?
I think I would have remembered that.
Unlikely. You had just been born. It was the monster that had been born to Tywin Lannister. A head twice the size of his body, a tail between his legs, claws, one red eye. The privates of both a girl and a boy.
That would have made things so much easier.
When we met your sister, she unveiled the freak.
Wasn't that freaky,
Your
was
head
he?
was a bit large. Your arms and legs were a bit small, but no claw.
Yeah.
No red eye, no tail between your legs, just a tiny pink cock. We didn't try to hide
He wanted to
it.
see the monster and he didn't get it.
I told Cersei.
Sooner or later, Cersei always gets what she wants.
Yeah.
And what about what I want?
Vengeance.
Justice.
Justice for the mountain!
For my sister.
Oh my gosh. Is Oberyn gonna be the champion?
I will be your champion.
Yeah! Let's do this! I guess I'll be next episode. Aw, snow. Apart from the Night's Watch, we really haven't seen much of it. Oh god, she hasn't seen snow in years. Because she's been in the south. Oh, it's Winterfell. Wow, she's really good. I guess I've never tried doing that, but that's amazing.
I'm the Lord of the Vale. When I grow up, I'll be able to fight anybody who bothers me. Or you. When we get married, you can tell me if you don't like somebody, and then we can bring them back here and whoosh! Right through the moon door.
Well, that's not bad.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Let's put a moon door in.
Damn.
Robin, I'm sorry.
No, it is a lost cause.
I hit him.
Yes, I saw.
It was hilarious.
No. His mother should have. A long time ago. Consider it a step in the right direction.
Are you not cold?
If he tells Lord Baelish.
Call me Peter.
Whoa, easy there, Casanova.
You wanted to see me out nicer?
She's gonna throw you out the fucking moon door. I knew this couldn't last long enough for Arya to get here. Although I suppose it remains to be seen.
What happens to people who stand between Peter and me? Look down! Look down! Look down! Look down!
Lysa!
Oh shit.
Let her go. Let her go, Lysa.
Man, Peter is like magic. That he can freaking control her like this.
My sweet, silly wife.
I think he's... The door's still open.
I have only loved one woman.
Oh shit.
Only one.
It's not her. He's gonna fucking push her over.
Your sister.
Bye. Sorry, not sorry. I knew he would do that too. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. Okay. Another good one. Another a good episode. This episode is very much like a let's do a few more things before next episode. We're gonna do a bunch of stuff probably. I would imagine so. Yeah. So we can go ahead and talk about that. But this definitely did feel like a slower episode. Like we're just. I don't know. Game of Thrones has this, and it's not like bad. Obviously, it's not filler or anything because it's all useful stuff. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know how you can like describe this, but it's very much like a. Well, here's the episode where it's like, okay, stuff happened last episode, and we're setting things in motion. Like, okay, we're doing this, this, and this. We need to do these things before we can get to here. So we just throw all those things to do in one episode, and then next episode we're moving on. Considering we're so late in the season, this is episode 7, it does make sense that we're sort of building up to a climax. So, yeah. So the first thing I wrote down was Bronn versus the Mountain. So that's already, first of all, it is clear from that first scene that Tyrion's first choice of champion is Jaime. He does say that. Well, he doesn't say that, but you can tell by the way, Jaime says like, well, my training has shown me that I'm not a good warrior anymore, basically. It's like, I would not be able to do this. And you can see it on Tyrion, like, he kind of looks... It's all in the face with Tyrion on this one. It's like, you can see he kind of looks, and you can kind of see the thought process going, he just kind of looks down, and is like, okay, it's clear that he was banking on Jaime to be his champion. And that's why he says, like, well, perhaps Bronn can take down the Mountain. Which is an interesting suggestion that Bronn could do that. Because the last time Tyrion was in trial by combat, he was at the Vale, or was it the Vale, the Eyrie? Both, I guess. I can never tell, actually, whether it's called the Vale or the Eyrie. Because, like, they say, it's like, well, they're in the Eyrie, but then they call Robin the Lord of the Vale, so it's like, wait, which is it? Is the Eyrie, like, part of the Vale, and the Vale is the overall, like, kingdom? I have no idea. But anyway. But yeah, that first time, it was just a random person, really. It was just a random Knight of the Vale, basically, that Bronn faced, and then Bronn won. So there's that. And it's like, okay, that does make it like, I don't know, it's like, I'm trying to put it into words, like, okay, we know Bronn is a great swordsman. We've seen him take on a ton of different people. But could he defeat the Mountain? My guess would be probably not. And that sort of comes to a head with Bronn's choice to turn down the offer, basically. And he just says, like, look, I'm starting to, make a life, basically. I'm going to get married. And, I will most likely become the lord of this castle, and that'll be great. And, while he does think of Tyrion as a friend, and Tyrion thinks of him as a friend, he still doesn't think it's worth it. And, though it takes a little while, Tyrion does understand that there's no sense for Bronn to risk his life to try to face the Mountain. If this was any other guy, he would probably take it on and he would do it. But the fact is that he's starting to make a life for himself, and this is the Mountain we're talking about. It doesn't work. It just does not work. And then I wrote down the tunnel at Castle Black. That was also interesting. That does make sense. Now, granted, the wildlings can climb the wall. The wildlings can climb the wall. We've seen that. But it's not very, effective, basically. Like, you don't want to try to get all the wildlings over the wall, basically. Whereas you would need a straight shot through the tunnels, basically. So yeah, if you filled them up with rocks, flooded them, and then let that freeze over, they couldn't get through. And it is an interesting debate back and forth, like, okay, well, we've never done that before. Like, we've never done that before. We've always stood our ground and faced our enemies. But it doesn't work this time around. They've said repeatedly they are outnumbered compared to Mance. So, yeah, it's like, on the one hand, I do kind of get where they're coming from, but on the other hand, Jon makes a solid point. But part of this is also that Alistair Thorne's a fucking asshole. It's like, he does... It's not that he just completely ignores everything Jon says all the time, but he does... There's a level to it where it's like, well, this is Jon's idea, so we're not doing it. But at the same time, it's like, well, he also still has the logic of, well, we've never had to flood the tunnels. We've never had to seal off the tunnels and stuff. Like, there's no, we need to fight like the Night's Watch does. But that's not a great idea. I wrote down Stannis' daughter. That's interesting. We got a little bit of that where Stannis' daughter has a purpose, which... Stannis' daughter has always been the interesting part of this whole Lord of Light thing, because she isn't... Well, she's a doubter. She's not exactly a believer or a non-believer. She's just kind of a doubter, and they say that. But the reason that she still, like, doesn't get, like, any punishments, basically, from her mother is because Stannis will not allow it. And this is the one thing that Stannis does not cave on, basically, is his daughter. Like, he never... It doesn't matter how much Stannis believes in the Lord of Light or how much everyone else believes in the Lord of Light. The line is drawn at his daughter. He will not let anything happen. And that's why, like, he's not in a rush to convert her. And if she has her doubts, then that's just kind of that. And they say in that one scene, this was a while ago, but, the mother was talking about it, the daughter, and said, like, she keeps doubting all the time, and she's a bit of a pain. It's like, well, maybe I should smack some sense into her, or something like that. And Stannis just says, like, you will do no such thing. And she goes along with it because that's what the king says. But basically it stops at his daughter. Like, Lord of Light, nothing goes above his daughter, because his daughter is important to him. So, it's interesting that now his daughter has a purpose in this whole thing. They say the Lord of Light needs his daughter. Why? We really don't know. We don't know why the Lord of Light needs his daughter. We just know that he does, I guess. So, why does he need the daughter? And if it's some sort of sacrifice, will Stannis go along with it? Because that's the other thing, is like, yes, he does sort of, like, when it comes to his daughter, it's like he wants to keep his daughter safe. And it's like, on the one hand, you would think that he wouldn't want anything to happen to his daughter. But on the other hand, he is willing to make sacrifices for the Lord of Light, for what he's doing, to try to reclaim Westeros and take the Iron Throne for himself. That's sort of the thing, is that he is willing to do this. He was willing to sacrifice Gendry. He's willing to do all this stuff. He's willing to use black magic. He's not willing to use sellswords, but that's different. But yeah, if the Lord of Light does need his daughter, why does he need his daughter? And will Stannis actually allow that? That's what, I guess we'll have to find that out. But that'll be interesting. Ow. Ah. Ow. Oh, God. I hate when you try to crack your neck and nothing happens. Ugh. Okay. The next thing I wrote down is kill the masters. That was an interesting... It's interesting, like, we still have this debate, what should we do with these slaveholders, basically, these masters? And the debate is still going on, and now we're starting to see that Jorah is sort of on the side of maybe showing them a little mercy. Because originally the only person that was really saying that was Sir Barristan, but now Jorah seems to be on that train too. And he does make a solid point, like, I used to sell slaves, and if Ned Stark did what you are saying to do, I would not be here, basically. So he does have a point, and she saw that. She saw his point. It's like, yeah, I guess you're right. And she was like, okay, then you will go, and you will give them a choice to live in my world or to die in their world. So it is a bit more merciful. It's not like complete mercy or anything, but it is a bit more. It's a bit more a step in the right direction, which that's honestly a good way of going at it, because yeah, it's like, what do you do with these slave masters? If it's like, okay, you don't kill them, do we imprison them? She even said, like, do we imprison them? Do we give them a fine? What do we do? So yeah, so that does work with the whole, what do we do? So it's like, okay, give them a choice. It's kind of what the Doctor does. Give them a choice. You can either live or you can die. So, better pick something. Next thing I wrote down was Champion Oberyn. So, this does make sense that he would want to be the champion for Tyrion. Not exactly for Tyrion, though. It's like he's not doing this because he truly believes in Tyrion and wants to see him innocent. And it's like, it's not really any of that. It's really just that he is ready for revenge. We kind of left that a bit. We had him talk about it in his first appearance, where he does want revenge for the murder of his sister and her children. But then that sort of dropped off. It just sort of dropped off, and it's like, okay, well, we're not really talking about it. It's like, okay, well, now he's a judge. Now he's sitting on the small council, but it's almost like he was biding his time. He's waiting, and now he sees an opportune moment to strike and get his revenge. And the first person he can get revenge on is the Mountain. And the thing is, it is a trial by combat, so the only way for Tyrion's champion to win is to kill the Mountain. So it does make perfect sense that Oberyn would do this for Tyrion, but more for his vengeance. Like, this is the opportunity. It's like, this is the opportunity to kill the Mountain, basically. So, yeah, there was that. And then the last thing I wrote down was Peter and Sansa. Interesting stuff. Definitely interesting stuff. Baelish is becoming like more and more of an interesting character, because, you know, we had the whole conversation of, you know, the chaos is a ladder sort of thing. And so, and we've heard, you know, Varys say, like, I think it was Varys who says, like, he would destroy the entire world just to rule over the ashes. So it makes sense why he would kill Jon Arryn in order to send this whole thing into chaos, basically. And he also killed Joffrey for that, and also mostly because of Catelyn, and that all sort of came to a head when he now has killed Lysa. So, yeah, that's interesting. Now, whether or not he's into Sansa, I'm not sure. It's still a bit up in the air on that, but I think it's a bit both ways, honestly. It's like he is to an extent, but at the same time, he did say, you know, I've only ever loved one woman, and it was Catelyn. So, yeah, it's a bit of a 50-50 on does he actually have these sort of feelings for Sansa. But yeah, but he is definitely, he loves her enough to protect her, which is why he got her out of King's Landing, and he has kept her safe and is now keeping her safe from Lysa, basically, and killing Lysa. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's all interesting, and we'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's not like, yes, so Lysa's dead, but Robin is still the Lord of the Vale, so that doesn't really affect the Vale that much. I don't know. Maybe this means that Baelish will basically be calling the shots, basically. Like he'll be the one that's sort of, you know, whispering in the ear of Robin and stuff like that. And maybe he will, you know, pay the ransom for Arya if they ever freaking get there. So, yeah. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, that is basically it. Good episode. Again, not a ton of stuff happening, but I know we're gonna get into the big stuff in the next few episodes. But good episode, move the plot along a little bit. So yeah. With that all being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Game of Thrones reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. Oh, that's a mouthful. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.